Ms. Schuler, in your testimony from USA Maritime mentions that continued reforms to existing food programs could actually damage the program's credibility and domestic support over time. Is that concern to World Vision?
Thanks.
I'm in the middle here.
You know, for World Vision and for many humanitarian organizations, our #1 objective is to improve the well-being of the poorest people in the world. And so, you know, that's kind of where we focus our efforts. And what's beautiful about this Title II program, for example, and I've been involved in this program for years in different ways, both at headquarters and also in the field, is the partnership that we have between, you know, NGOs, shippers, farmers, government, and it's just a really nice partnership. If you've ever been to Kansas City and the meetings there, it's just a nice feel. It's a good partnership. But, you know, the program's been going for 60 years. It's always good to look at constant improvement and review. And so for us, we just believe that all these parties that are partnering should get together and look at ways to improve the way we do business and reform the system if necessary, so that we can get the most resource to the most people. And that's really what we hope. We would never hope that those efforts to improve efficiency would result in a cutting of the program overall. That would never be our intent. But I think it's good business to look at reviewing and improving as necessary.
Congressman Crawford, if I could throw in there, just the benefit and the advocacy that farmers like Ron and mariners like my guy sitting in the back row here have provided over the years puts a human face, an American face, on a program that otherwise could be characterized as just another excuse for Americans to run up the credit card to give away money to people overseas. I've heard that phraseology used about programs like this, and it's completely wrong. And that's what makes this program so good. As Chairman Conaway pointed out, we're $20 trillion in debt. So if we're going to be spending money on these programs, we've got to be spending it in the best way possible, in a way that helps to provide an economic and a political benefit at home, not just overseas. And that's what this program has always done. And that's why you've got American mariners, you've got American farmers coming up here hand in glove, working together to make sure that this program stays viable. And that's why it has for 60 years. And if we cut American farmers out, if we cut American mariners out of these programs, then all we're going to have left is a check.
Right.
And checks don't vote.
Well, let me just say I'm for PL 480. I'm for these programs, but I want to make a distinction between those commodities that we use as a part of these programs versus cash, which is oftentimes a point of debate. So my point being this: cash has a habit of turning into things that these programs weren't designed for. So what I'd like to find out is you know, the GAO has indicated cash assistance can be susceptible to fraud and abuse. Have any of your organizations implemented any kind of protections to combat that type of phenomenon from taking place? Because I agree with you. I want to get nutrition to people who need it, but I don't want to put cash in the hands of people who might use that against the folks that need our assistance. Any comments there, Ms. Salem?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of ironic that this is the program that we're threatening to cut, because most of the countries in the world are giving cash, and the U.S. is the one who is holding on to trying to keep the Americans in mind when we are adding these items to the budget. And so it's a program that's very much in our own self-interest. And so to me, it's kind of ironic that it is slated to be deleted from the budget. I mean, in the field, we are always able to monitor very closely what products are where, how much they're getting used. We're doing monitoring and evaluation everywhere to make sure that we're seeing actual outcomes. Mm-hmm. And I just also want to say that while sometimes we feel like the world is falling apart and we have famines and we have all of these issues, like overall, we are trending in the right direction. That these 60, 70 years of these policies have dramatically increased the state of the world. We used to have 2 billion people who lived under $2 a day. Now we have 1 billion. That's a massive improvement. When I got started in this business, we had 5 million children who would die from severe acute malnutrition every year. It's down to 3. That's just in 7 years. So these programs and all of these efforts that all of us at this table are working on are working. And we are trending in the right direction. And we are making a big dent in changing these lives. So we can't stop now.
Thank you. I yield back.
Do you have a